what the punters are seeing on the pitch.
No.
Because what they're seeing on the pitch, there is nothing there. There is nothing there.
And how many ex-players, when they come out of the game, you hear them asked about, oh, this is happening in the boat and this, and how did that affect you in the dressing room? And they all go,
Didn't
affected at all. We're just a football team. We didn't bother. We got finished training, got our cars, and off we went. Our job was the football. So it's an easy one, I think, to kind of give the guys a pass, if you like, for not performing. But I can only go for.
But again, Swanee, I come back to it, right? And I've been saying for a while about Clement. I describe myself since the start of the season a Clement skeptic, because I've really been struggling to see what it is that he's trying to achieve with this team. But I also then look back at the fallouts that there's been about losing a player like Todd Cantwell for buttons. Now, whatever anybody thinks of Todd Cantwell, he makes that starting 11 better. There's no question in my mind about that.
Definitely.
Hadji, don't want him. Not good enough to be a number 10 for Rangers. Will never be a number 10 for Rangers. Now he's citing it as, oh, well, we don't have Hadji. He's suspended. Yeah. He threw the Casemiro under the bus a little bit by blaming him for the goal that Kilmarnock scored, for Marley Watkins' goal.
And Jack
Butland.
No.
So,
although in fairness, I thought, in my view, as a manager, is perfectly entitled to say my right back should have been out quicker.
Yeah,
and the goalkeeper was caught in 2 minds. I know that. I'm not sure that's a
one excuse after the next.
Yeah,
he needs to take some responsibility. What is he doing to make things better? Because I see no signs of it. And I wonder, about some of the big personalities. Dujon Sterling's another one who looks to me as if he's got a bit to say for himself, probably in the dressing room. He's getting marginalised. Cantwell out the door. Hadji didn't want to know. Connor Goldson's away, big part of the leadership sort of group. Lundstrom, big personality.
Are you suggesting that anybody who may think that he's not
yes.
doing it the right way
voices
that opinion?
I think that he might like a certain type of character in his dressing room, but the type of character that he likes are very unlikely to be successful Rangers players.
No.
Because you need to have a voice.
Yeah.
You look at what would Barry Ferguson... I mean, we saw what happened with Barry Ferguson when Paul Le Guen was there. Yeah. What happens if the manager is not strong enough to deal with big personalities inside the dressing room? What happens? You get runs of results like we're examining now with a 50% win ratio.
Mm-hmm.
Let me run through a few more of these comments, guys, because some of them actually make really good points. John Bruce, for Rangers fans to be 6 points behind Celtic after 8 games is unpalatable, but 6 behind Aberdeen after 8 games is unthinkable. After incredibly extending his contract until 2028, now entirely possible Rangers can't afford to get rid of Clement, but can they afford to keep him? George McLeish says, this is the worst Rangers team I've watched in over 60 years. The players and the manager are a disgrace to the good name of Rangers. Not fit enough, too slow, with no pace anywhere on the side, and capable of defending long or high balls. No leadership anywhere. The manager only plays favourites who are all rubbish. Scott McAdam. Who remembers the magician saying, watch us go in October? Well, here we are, Phil, and I dread to think what November will bring. The only thing you should be pulling out your magic hat, Phil, will be your P45.
I was wondering where that was going.
And Daniel, a point I believe, I don't want to hark back to yesterday's show, but, I believe there was a point made that Jimmy Tilley at Aberdeen has blown this whole theory out the water about time needed. Yeah. If you can go in and, it's not just, there was excellent recruitment made, but he's also turned some players around, Jimmy Tilley. And get, guys who weren't getting anywhere and not doing so well, and he's found different positions for other players. Look at Jamie McGrath on Saturday at Celtic Park. Absolutely brilliant for Aberdeen. He's revitalised him, and that's done so quickly.
Yeah, rapid.
But there should be.
But the style of Aberdeen's
I was just going to say,
and play has been completely revamped and completely made over in the space of But he managed to achieve that from almost day one.
Yeah.
So you're right.
And that's when Phillipe Clement saying you'll see the best in October, and you're already kind of going, well, not sure about that, but okay, wait till October and see how it's flying. Well, the point was made yesterday. It's October.
Yeah.
And it's nearly November.
It's very nearly Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
Watching live on Facebook, guys, George McIntyre is asking, what do you guys think Rangers need to challenge? You guys watch Rangers week after week. To do sack Clement, they need to find the money to pay off his contract, and then the new guy needs money to strengthen. I know that's obviously it's quite wordy. I'm not asking you for a comprehensive answer on that, but
Daniel, a goal scorer.
aye,
But what happens in both boxes covers up a multitude of sins. You can get away with playing some pretty average stuff if you've got guys that can keep the ball in the net and someone at the other end who can score. Now, I'm not going to go back to the Lon Shanklin thing yet again, but I'm using him as an example with Hearts last season. There's a lot of games when Hearts didn't play that well, and Lawrence Shanklin bailed them out with a goal. And they won games they maybe weren't entitled to win, or got points from games they weren't entitled to get a point from. And that is not after timing. That was something that was said all through the summer transfer window. You need to get yourself a proven goal scorer. And
It hasn't come as a surprise that Cyril Dessers is...
some of the patterns of play that you maybe think you might see and you're not seeing, and that you can get away with that. Get away with that if you get somebody who can nick you a goal. Yesterday, Rangers were awful at Rugby Park. But after 70 minutes, if somebody can just engineer something, score you a goal, and you get out
You
there
get up the
1-0,
road with 3 points.
you go up the road and you go, that's a sign of a good team. No playing well and winning games. That's everybody could see it as clear as the nose in your face that was the problem in the summer.
Interestingly, Swanee, I take your point. I think you're right. But the other thing about style of play and patterns of play and all that, see if you've got a fully functioning centre forward, that helps bring whatever it is, whatever system it is that you're trying to implement. If he's your focal point, well, it's pretty helpful if he can trap the ball, control it, hold off a defender, and bring his teammates into play. And if he doesn't, and if he's the focal point for how your team wants to get up the pitch, then it's going to break down. It's going to look like what it looks like.
Yeah.
I know
everybody knew that. Everybody knew that and knew the deficiencies that were there going into the summer.
I noticed yesterday, Keith, just on that I don't know if you guys spied the same, but the midfielders from Rangers, Lawrence, even Connor Barron at times, they've just stopped running beyond Dessers. I noticed that several times yesterday because they know.
But Daniel, that's what you do at any level of football. Any level of football that anybody watching this has played. If the ball keeps coming off your front guy and you can't hold it, if you're playing in centre mid and you're busting to get from your
What's the
box
point?
to get to the other one and he
They're worried
loses
that
it, and then you're having to get a taxi back to your own box to help again, you just stop doing it. You just stop doing it.
Aye.
It was like in the old days when two guys played up front as a partnership. If the big guy wasn't winning the flick on, the second striker in behind him, his partner didn't make the run in behind because he thought he's not going to win this. So you just, it's just natural. You just do it. So you're right, Daniel. Guys stop doing what can be natural, instinctive things, moving themselves into places where they think they would like to be because they just don't see that it's going to be joined together.
And if that's the case, what's the manager doing? Because the manager's got to see that for himself.
Well, as Andy Newport said yesterday, signing a £2 million kid who's not ready to play in the first.
No, but I'm talking about in game.
Or during the game.
Yeah. I mean,
I said this yesterday. I don't know what's you try something. I don't know what, but you try something. You put someone on, you move Barami inside. You try anything. I don't know. Try something.
Yeah.
But don't just let it peter out the way it's going. Because if it's not, you can see it's not working. You just, as you said yesterday, you're just hoping that something happens.
That's it.
You've got to be proactive and make something happen.
Yeah.
Like Jimmy Tillin was at Celtic Park on Saturday. He was proactive and made something happen.
I tell you, well, you could almost, and unlike me, I guess, but to cut him a little bit of slack, Clement, you look at the players Aberdeen put on from the bench. They've got more quality sitting on the bench than Rangers had. They've more game changers sitting on the bench. He's actually, not only has Jimmy Tillin reinvented the way that Aberdeen play the game and made it, modern and full of energy and exciting to watch, but his squad probably looks as deep, if not deeper, than what Clement's working
Keith,
with.
that's an excellent point, and again, I don't want to sound as though I'm after timing, but I remember sitting at the game on Saturday and speaking to one of my colleagues for one of the other papers, and we were looking at the team sheets and saying, look, Aberdeen bench, pretty strong, that. It's, they look as though they've got players that can, there's no lightweights on there. And again, coming back to making players better, you look at guys like Shaden Morris. Shaden Morris last season, you look and you think, well, he's gone nowhere. And now Shaden Morris is coming in and affecting games, and he's coming on, and he's just making players better. Everything just seems to be working for him. Philippe Clement doesn't seem capable of doing this anymore.
Before we move on from Clement, guys, I'm going to put you both on the spot.